I'll be more excited than my cat was. This is Bowser. Bowser doesn't understand. But he will be sleeping hopefully shortly. Excited by the commotion. Alright, and Micah is back, my cat. He didn't enjoy being picked up last time, so I'll let him do his thing. I wanted to start the stream again by just opening up some crafty mail that I received this week. I'm not going to show any addresses or anything. There we go. That should be a little bit nicer and a little bit less overwhelming. So crafty mail that I've gotten this week. I think these were for different mail swaps. Maybe some round artist training cards, which are like Pokemon size cards, but you put like art on them and trade them with people. And Valentines cards. And I actually haven't made my Valentine's cards for my swaps yet. So we're going to be taking today as an opportunity for that, as well as showcase some really cool launch products. So I'm going to start with this one. He wrapped it in wrapping paper, it feels like. It's a really glossy, funky pattern. I don't want to show the address, so I can't show the front, but the front is very cute. Oh, it has, okay, it's just a piece of bubble wrap. Oh, look at this. Okay, so this was actually a third card that I haven't created yet. And that's so pretty. The hello, oh, it is a stamp. I'm gonna be over here. And the little die cut chairs here with some wine. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, someone's stomping. Let's see. Oh, it's just empty on the inside. There's a little note card in here. That is gorgeous. Who's that from? Oh, Rain. Okay, that's beautiful. Thank you. And this other one, I think it's from my friend Sandy. Oh. So here are some just journaling papers. Oh, look at this card. This is the round artist trading card. It's very sparkly. What was the theme for that swap? The card swap theme was vacation, I think. So that makes sense for this one. I definitely get the vacation vibe. And actually, I think it was a sketch challenge too, meaning that they tell you what the layout is kind of supposed to be. You can interpret it pretty loosely, but I believe this looks like the layout that was given. To do that one this week, also late, but they will forgive me. No, this is beautiful, this little circle. And it's made out of cardboard or something. It has like a thick material, very pretty. And then a few more of these journaling cards. This one says, stay curious. And this one, oh goodness, the script says, different is beautiful. Those are gorgeous. Alright, I'm gonna set these aside. Okay, there's my dog running off. I think I'm gonna sit for a little bit. We're gonna go through this big pile on my desk, and there is a lot here. Okay. So what we're gonna be talking about today is a company called Valentines. And so they went into business about 2010, but I did not become obsessed with them until maybe last year. Their products are about mid-range priced, I would think. Like, they're not the most expensive line out there, but they're not super cheap, but you can get really good sales is when I usually sign up. And then there's also a really good community of people who resell, like when they don't feel like they're using a set very much anymore. And that's a way that I've been able to get some of the dyes a little bit cheaper. So we're gonna be, I think, using these two sets here. These are brand new, actually. I got these two for Boxing Day sales. So the first one we're gonna be using today is called Just My Type. And it has a cute little series of typewriters and this adorable desk, and then this little mouse that's in it. And the Valentine swap theme is my punny Valentine, so it's supposed to include like a pun. And so I figured that we would use this "You're Just My Type" stamp, and that would kind of cover the bases for that Valentine's Day card. And then I have the coordinating die set for that, which is the metal cutting pieces that will run through to cut out individual stamps. And then the other set that I hope I get a chance to play with today, I think it's called Ants at a Picnic. Oh no, it's called Crazy Antics. It says it right on there. And it's this really cute set that has all these little ant bugs. I can get a little bit closer there. And these two little mice again, just trying to enjoy their picnic. Maybe they have ant buddies. If you look at the sizes though, oh my goodness, those are some giant ants, but I love it. What I really think is super cute with this set is all the little food pieces that come with it. And a whole bunch of sayings. So again, to fit into the kind of like punny theme, we're gonna be using this part here. It says, "I love your crazy," and then there's antics, like ant dash it. So I think I might use like this larger ant for that, and then just put the little icks on it. And then again, the coordinating die set for that. Haven't cut it or anything, so we're gonna have to do a lot of work today. So I think we're gonna chat now and then probably get to work and answer questions, and maybe chat a little bit less after. But those are two examples of stamps and die sets that coordinate together. So we're gonna stamp those, we're gonna cut them out, and then we're gonna break out the slew of alcohol markers I have here. I'm not going to go through each kind right now. They're all just different brands I've sorted through. Obviously, Copics are a marker that's really high quality that everybody loves, but it also comes with that really high quality price point. So we'll be using mostly these Touch 5 markers that I got from a combination of Amazon and AliExpress. And then we have a few of these Artist Series alcohol markers. And these ones I got at Dollarama. And then both of these are the Miniso brand alcohol-based ink marker. And yeah, I picked them up. Miniso usually only has like one or two colors at a time. I remember I was in Toronto and I went to like 5 different Miniso stores. They really were within 2 blocks of each other. I was right downtown, and grabbed like every color I could find, and I still only ended up with, I think, 10 of them. What else have we got here? So apart from those coordinating stamp and die sets, Fawn does these standalone dies. So this one will make a really funky little castle. I haven't got an example of that. I don't think we're going to go as crazy to cut it out today. But what I'm very excited about in the future is I finally, in my Boxing Day haul, grabbed the little dragon that goes with it. And all of these cute little medieval people. And so there's like a little old man wizard and like a little knight. And I saw the cutest post on Instagram where someone had used the castle along with this little wizard guy and then just some generic people stamps, and they turned it into a full Harry Potter scene. And so that is a future goal and maybe a future stream. But I just wanted to show you that they also make these tinier, much more affordable stamp and die sets, but they are mini as well as standalone. And I remember waiting a long time to get this castle. It sold out. So this is another one that I got from Boxing Day. It's called the Unicorn Picnic. And this one I have used, so I do have some examples. I always, when I cut these out and do extra, let's just see, little clouds. I'll show them up close in a second. Tiny unicorns. And then I think it came, yes, there's like these adorable little donuts. I know that they're supposed to go together to make like a little picnic scene, but I have just used the unicorns kind of on their own. So these are what our kind of finished product will look like today for the ants at the picnic and the You're Just My Type. But we're going to be using them to make Valentine's cards. Oh, I can get a little bit closer and not have it lose focus. Very cute. And then, I don't know if you can see the little tiny donut. Oh, come focus for me. So tiny. You have to imagine its cuteness right now. And actually for the Valentine's cards, I just have these polka dot card bases. They were probably a clearance item at Michael's. They just come with little envelopes, and I kind of like the pre-made card bases. They tend to be made of like a nice, somewhat thick cardstock, and then they come with envelopes that are always the right size. Not that you can't easily make your own, but you'll see there's so many steps to like cut and color and then go over and highlight with the jelly rolls, and then figure out your layout, do all the things. And so making envelopes and getting the card base is just one extra step that you can skip without spending a lot of money. I'm gonna leave our little unicorn buddies here. Oh, you can't. And out. And then, so also Lawn Fawn comes with other standalone dies. This one just makes a slimline border. I haven't cut this one out of its package yet. I'm very excited for these double stitched kind of symbols that they have. There's like a little cloud and a heart and a star. And one of the reasons I really gravitate towards Lawn Fawn products is they look really finished when you use them, for reasons like having these cute stitch borders. It just really adds something. It makes your cards look a lot more polished. Now this isn't in the packaging. I just store sometimes my dies in these clear, thicker plastic envelopes. I don't have any preferred brand. Another way people like to store them is on the fridge photo frames that you can put in your fridge. And it's because they have a magnetic background, and most dies, the Lawn Fawn ones anyway, are steel, so they stick really nicely. So these are just some various background borders. I think we'll end up using these stitched wavy hills today. And this isn't a Lawn Fawn die, but Lawn Fawn has a very similar one. This is, I don't even know, a generic brand. And this one we'll be using to cut out grass for our picnic. So you can get closer and you can see that it has the grassy border here. I tend to buy a mix of name brand and kind of generic brand dies. I think if you're just looking for a grass die, and you don't want it to have any stitching. This one actually came in a set. You can see I haven't broken apart yet, where it had some cloud dies too with it. And I think the really simple ones like that are really versatile and worth getting. I also have one that I haven't used, but I'll probably use it a lot next Christmas, that does mountains, but it's a little bit more involved. My arm starts after a while, that die cut machine. We're just going to be using a Cricut Cuddlebug today. It's a really simple, small machine, and I like it. The sandwiches are really easy to make. So I'm going to save these stitch dies because I'm going to want to use them in a little bit, and pack back up. Definitely try and keep everything together. If you lose one, like imagine just losing the one that cuts out the little donut. Break. I did bring out some examples. I have leftover Christmas cards because I didn't see everybody, or really anybody. I mailed some out, but I still am saving some for my family. So if any of them watch this, this is your spoiler warning. So we have this one here. It was not made with Fawn products, but you can see that the stamping and die cutting is the same sort of idea. So I stamped all these little houses and these cute little, maybe a little bit nicer if I ask it. There we go. All these cute little treats, and then I embossed the back. All of this is actually texture on some really shiny paper, and put it together. Oh, and I have 2 of those. I was trying out kind of a flat look. This one's flat, and then this one has some more 3D. I think, surprisingly, I really enjoy the flat look more. And the reason I actually pulled these out was I wanted to show you a different type of die. This one is part of the interactive card series. This one is called the Flippin' Awesome die. And it looks kind of weird at first, but what it does is it makes something really cool. It makes these very cool little flip cards. Actually, you can see. So by pulling out this little tab, you get a card that flips. And that is super fun to make over Christmas. I'm doing it really slow. It actually flips quite smoothly. And so I use the Flippin' Awesome die set here, and then this one, which I feel bad it's not in the prettiest of packaging. Can't really see. Maybe I can find it. These little mice with figure skate. And it was probably my very first Lawn Fawn set. I found these little mice probably on Instagram, and I was completely obsessed. So that comes, oh, get right up close. You can see these cute little figure skating mice. And we put them on kind of like a cool little glitter ice rink. And just use a simple sentiment, the winter wishes underneath it. And what else do I have here? Oh my goodness, it never ends. So I have this set here, which is cute little trees throughout the seasons, called Free Before and After. This one you can see I've used a lot of black ink on it. It's been inked up quite a bit. A funny side story is I've actually run out of black ink, so we're going to be stamping with a really dark purple today, which won't be too noticeable. It'll be fun. And then the coordinating dies for that. And then, oh, what I wanted to show you, there was a reason I pulled out this slimline die. So this slimline die here, it has a regular price of about, $35 Canadian, and that is definitely pricey. I got it on sale. I didn't pay that. I would definitely wait for a sale. This is another very similar slimline dye. It was from AliExpress, and I think it cost $7. So you can find other versions a lot cheaper that still have the stitching, that will still make your product look really polished. You're going to notice that it's actually worth investing in a really nice brand. You're supporting the designers, you're supporting the company, but also you're getting a much higher quality product. These Lawn Fawn dyes are made, I said before, out of steel. The stitching on them is beautiful. These are made out of, I don't know, aluminum? I really don't know. I've had to throw some of them out after just a few uses. They stop cutting properly. Some of the little stitches won't be there. You might find that you have to make a much tighter sandwich, which is when you run it through your machine, like how much pressure it puts on. And the cuts, the embossing cuts, which is these little stitches, might not be as deep. So there's definitely a quality difference. And then these Lawn Fawn dyes, they'll last you forever. They're not going to do they're not going to break or anything. And if something does happen, the company is amazing. You can contact them and usually get a replacement or get a resolution. These dyes don't have that longevity, and if something happens to them, if they break, if there's a quality issue, that's just too bad. There's no one to contact. Often I've bought stuff and the store has like completely disappeared after. Not quite sure what's going on. But if you do not have a collection right now, or you are limited in your funds and you still want to get kind of that look, I think it is completely valid to go this route. I definitely have a lot of stamps and dyes, but if you can support the designers and you want something that you can reuse over and over and over, that's an extremely high quality, definitely wait for some sales and stock up and trade for some Lawn Fawn. Oh, and this last little one here, I have had this one. This came with my first Lawn Fawn purchase. I got it because it was cheap. I haven't had a chance to use it. It's these two little cute seals, and it says sealed with a kiss. So I think we might be able to make a cute little Valentine out of that as well. So that was kind of the walkthrough and introduction to what Lawn Fawn is, kind of what their different product lines are. They have several releases a year. If you're interested, I would join probably a Facebook swap group. You'll get to see people's different projects, have a chance to collect some stamps and dyes, probably cheaper because they'll be used, and just find out about sales when they happen. There's so many independent craft stores. Michael's actually doesn't carry Lawn Fawn, so you can order it directly from their site, but normally independent craft stores have access to all of these and can order them in for you. So that's how I acquired all of these. A few of them I did buy directly from Simon Says Stamp when they had a really good Boxing Day sale. So that is where the antics and the Just My Type came in. Phew, that was a lot of words. 28 minutes of just me talking. I'm so sorry. We're going to get into it now, and we're going to start with setting up, stamping these, and then going into coloring them. First, we're just going to get rid of the mess so that I have a little bit of space to work with. Take a sip of tea. And hydrate for this next step. Alright. Won't need the markers quite yet. So what we're going to be using in this first step is this Stamp Perfect platform. So A lot of people love the Misty. I love the Misty too. I cannot afford the Misty. This Stamp Perfect platform is from Walmart, and I think it was less than $20. And it's a very simple stamp positioning tool. It comes with 2 magnets. I've already lost one, so put some tape here. This foam background, these little measuring, which I have never used. The reason I like it is I like to stamp my stamps multiple times, and this ensures that when you stamp, you're stamping in the exact same spot. So you read your stamp and stamp again and not worry about it shifting. We're going to be stamping on this Strathmore marker paper. The paper is not too important for the actual stamping ink, but it's very important for your alcohol markers. They bleed very easily, and I have legitimately cried because hours of work have been ruined simply because I used the wrong paper. This I actually think is one of the cheaper marker papers. I get it at Michael's when they have a sale. And 24 sheets is fine. The smaller 6 inch by 8 inch is perfect for me, because what I do is I cut them in half, and then they perfectly fit in my little Stamp Perfect machine, and then they're also a great size to run through my Cricut die cutter after. So we're gonna open up this long Fawn set. I keep the packaging. I try to keep it with the packaging for as long as possible because it stores so nicely. Eventually this will rip, and I'll end up transferring it to a kind of like Ziploc bag. They're very sticky in the beginning. Actually, most stamps kind of have this tackiness when you first open them. And what it ends up doing is it sticks to your paper, and then your paper starts pulling up. And when you try and do that multiple stamping technique to get really sharp, crisp lines, it shifts a little bit. So I use this Grandma's Secret rubber stamp cleaner. I had this bottle for probably 3 years. It's a really long time. You don't need very much of it at all. Apparently it conditions and cleans your stamps. It's really good for moving ink afterwards. But I go over it with a little bit of paper towel and that cleaner first. And that just kind of gets rid of that tackiness. I've also seen people use a dry cloth and just kind of like rub it over, and that seems to work. And now you only have to do this really when the stamp is brand new. The tackiness fades pretty quickly. I'm sure it's part of the cutting process when they make these. Now, a trick that some people really like is you can actually take some washi tape and actually separate it first. This is actually a piece of tape. It's not all one piece of plastic, so you can pull it off. And they like to just simply adhere the whole stamp and then stamp a whole page, and that works really great in some cases. What I don't like about it is when you go to die cut after, these little stamped pieces are way too close together for you to be able to die cut it all at the same time, which doesn't work for me. So I will remove them from this plastic background, pull off, and kind of like strategically position them so that they're a little bit separated, but I'm still making the most of my paper. And then because I only have one of the magnets left, I'm going to put a little bit of washi along the bottom so that my paper doesn't shift when I'm trying to stamp multiple times later. I have just this like cheap washi tape. Again, I think I got it off AliExpress. We sent like 2 rolls of it. I've had it for literally years. There's only so many caps you can put on things. So I now use it as kind of like my scrap washi tape. Oh, I was working with gold foil on the last stream, and I'm just finding bits of it everywhere. Some of it is stuck into the stamps. And I cleaned really well. Like, when you bring glitter into your life, just expect it to be there forever. We'll be stamping multiple of these. I don't know anybody who would go through all of this setup to stamp it once, and also the odds of me not messing one up, very low. And I don't really know what I'm going to call them. You know, what little guys come with this? That kind of dictates how much I'll end up cutting out. So it looks like the only other thing there's a die for are just these little blank hearts. And maybe we'll do a few of them to fill in the space. But I don't tend to cut out the little tiny elements. If I want to use them, I usually stamp them directly on the background. Oh, it's so sticky, it's just sticking to my hands. But so what I mean by that is there's a little light flare here. Oh, I need a white background. Show you that the light is there. There's these little kind of heart elements. There's also Lawn Fawn always includes little happy faces. And then what we're going to use in the end is we'll go back in with these sayings and put the "You're just my type" and "Happy Valentine's Day" into the little papers after. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with this. I'm going to try and space these a little tiny bit more. Oh, the other side of the stamp is sticky too. It is great for it sticking to the stamping platform. Just press down. Oh, it's still a little bit tacky. You can hear it. Okay, I'm going to add a tiny piece of tape so that it doesn't try and steal my paper on me. So I have two inks here. I have a Memento Dewdrop in Elderberry. It's a pigment ink. It'll soak into this marker paper really nice. Or sorry, it's a dye ink. And it'll soak into this marker paper very nice. And then I have this VersaFine in Imperial Purple. If I were... my preferred ink is probably the Memento in just, I think it's called Tuxedo Black. But this purple will be fine. Honestly, when it's not beside black, you wouldn't even know that it wasn't black. So we're just going to ink up. And another great part about the Lawn Fawn stamps is they have like a nice depth between the piece that what are these made out of? Silicone? Not quite sure. And the base of it. So if you press them a little bit harder, you're not going to get like the inside of this drawer, for example, which we wouldn't want stamped. Whereas cheaper stamps, they have less depth. I find it's really easy to press too hard with either your ink pad or your stamping platform. You can also use an acrylic block. But this will let me stamp everything at once, stamp multiple pages, and stamp multiple times. I wasn't sold on these stamping platforms in the beginning. I was like, why would anybody spend $160, $100+ I get it. I'm sold. I absolutely, if I can get like a used Misty or something in the future, that would be an investment I would make. But for right now, it's completely fine to use a smaller size and just stamp it on. this way. Oh, he's moved over too much. His little ear is not going to get cut. Alright, I'll move that for the next one. So I've stamped these once. Some of them are upside down. It's totally fine. You can't tell in the video, but the lines aren't quite as crisp as I would like them to be. So I'm just going to go over it again. A little less thoroughly this time, to be honest. And just tap some more ink on it so that the lines are a little bit crisper for me. Now these won't be ready to color on right away. You can heat set them with something like a heat gun, which is like a hair dryer that doesn't have as much air pressure, and that works great, but I'm just going to give them, I don't know, 5-10 minutes while we stamp other things, and hopefully by the time we reach the end of the last one, the first ones be dry. We can reuse the washi tape multiple times, really there just to keep the paper in place. So I just have to move over our little mouse friend. Where did I put my extra little papers? Oh, they're under the stamping platform. Okay. It's me dropping one of my dies and I'm getting caught in the Roomba. Actually lost a few stamps that way. Right, you always clean up your craft supplies. Okay, I'm going to try this one. I used the Memento ink last time. I'm going to try it with the VersaFine and see if I have any noticeable difference. I tend to use these inks pretty interchangeably. Oh, this one just seems to have more in the ink pad, so it might make me a little bit happier if I can just press a little bit lighter and quicker. That might have been why the last one I had to stamp it multiple times too. The image just wasn't quite where it needed to be in terms of clarity and sharpness. Just kind of apply some even pressure. Don't like mash down on it. Oh yes, that's much better. And so there's only a little bit right here and right in this corner. So I'll really only restamp those. Insert some ink. You'll see that I use the mini blocks as opposed to the full-size blocks. Again, you end up wanting a lot of colors, and stamp ink is expensive, and the other thing is it dries out. So these, once you've opened them, the countdown is on. I would say I've had the longest one last maybe like 13 months, so you only get like a year and a bit. So you want to make sure that you're investing in colors that you would actually use, and that you'll use up. So even though like if you're going to obviously use a lot of black, buy the bigger black because you're going to pay less for the amount that you get. But if the product expires, then you're not actually having any cost savings. So I stick to the smaller ink pads. And these dewdrops, they come in like coordinating sets. I think this came from a set of 4 or 8. So you can get colors that kind of go together. This VersaFine, I think I just picked up on a whim because I wanted to see what the brand was like. And of course, with all those positive reviews, it was lovely. Like, why wouldn't it? And I don't know if you can tell the color difference. This one is definitely more purple and this one is more black. But I don't think that makes a difference. I think I'm going to stamp, you know what, I'm going to stamp, I thought I had 6 pieces, but apparently I have, oh, there's one here because I used it to show you, of course. I'm going to stamp all 6. So I stop chatting, I can kind of get the 6 of these done. I'm into this song. Is this my usual crafting music? No. But that's what Andy at. For a while I got into audiobooks. Like I just rapidly went through all of the Witcher books. And each of them was 16 to 20 hours each. So that was great. But I find you still have to focus more than music or Twitch streams. Oh, see, that one was perfect. Okay, I'm sorry, the VersaFine ink is much better than the Memento for just having to go over it once. So this is my new recommendation, that if you're using an acrylic block and not a stamping platform, so an acrylic block is where you place the stamp on it and you probably only get to stamp it once, there's not any way to reposition it well, I would go with the VersaFine. The Memento is beautiful, but I found that I had to stamp it twice, and that could though just be because I've had this longer and it's a little bit drier. So a very biased and overly opinionated review. But this stamp platform, this off-brand one, was such a great find. I think I was actually just regular grocery shopping or whatever at Walmart when I saw it. Before that, I used one by Tim Holtz. I don't actually even know where it is, but I didn't super love it. It's good for positioning, but instead of being this folder type, it had foam pieces on the bottom, and you would push down on the whole platform. And it did have a grid on it, so you could reposition to stamp multiple times. And I think the really big selling point was that you could stamp multiple items because it was a large platform. But I think in terms of ease of use, this one is the best. Okay, so just two more of this one. And then we will set up the ants in a picnic, or the antics. And almost all of that tackiness is gone. You can't really hear it anymore. Alright, that's it for this design. I'm going to go over it again with this sandpaper towel I used before because it has a little bit of ink remover on it. Yeah, I made a mess with the ink. I don't really like when my stamps get stained. I like them to stay a little bit more pristine for as long as I can. So I'll use ink cleaner and conditioner more often than not. Some people don't use it at all. You don't know if it really impacts the quality of your stamp. Like, it's not going to make your stamp worse. I like them all to look pretty. And like when you buy a nicer product and you invest some money in it, I think it's worth taking care of. But yeah, I don't know, if you're using a stamping ink that'll come off with just like some water, I'm sure that's fine. I'm just gonna put them back on this plastic sheet. We will be coming back to this set to get the sentiments, but I think I'm gonna do those more as I make the cards in case I change my mind. Everything more of a blank slate. So now we're going to move on to our second stamp. I just want to do all this stamps on my platform, and we can move on to the session. So the exact same as last time. Because it's brand new, we're going to open it up and just do a once over. Use a stamp cleaner to get rid of some of the tackiness. Ooh, I did use up all of my cut down marker paper though, so we're going to do a little side quest here and just cut down some more of this marker paper, and I think I'll do 6 again. What ends up happening is I'll end up trying different colors, like the different mice or whatever, and then I'll cut a bunch of it out. Maybe use all coordinating colors, maybe not. TBD. With the unicorns, I went a little bit crazy, like I glittered some of them. So for a paper cutter, I just use this Cricut one. Came in a set when I got it. What I like about it is you can replace the blades really easily. I've worn through, I think this is my 3rd blade now, and they're really cheap from the Cricut store. I'm sure there's so many other cutters too that are reasonable. But I find that like you can get cutters from the dollar store and then the blade dulls, and then your whole thing is pretty useless. So I think these are 8 by 6, so if I cut it right at 4 inches, I should get it. Yay, equal size paper. And I was cutting 2 sheets at once there. So I should have 8 of these now. I think I only want to stamp 6. But this marker paper I only use for stamping on. So I know that I will definitely use that in the future. See if we can fly through these ones a little bit faster. Although I do watch lots and lots of streams, it's my addiction, and I do see that a lot of people get a lot less done in each of their streams. But I'm trying to use mine kind of as a tutorial as well as get some things done. So I participate in craft swaps every month. They're super fun. We get a challenge. So the ones we're making right now, the challenge is my punny Valentine. So it's to make and send 2 different Valentine cards to the person that you're paired up with, and they have to have a Valentine's pun. So why that's perfect for these lawn fawn stamps is they are very punny. So the first one was typewriters, and they said, "You're just my type." And this one is, I call it Ants at a Picnic. I believe it's called Crazy Antics if you want the actual set. And I really like how it says, "I love your crazy antics." So we'll be using that. Oh, super sticky. They're brand new. I don't know if I'm going to them more. So pirate is you guys are going to use be able to come. Oh, so what do we have here? So it looks like there's cutting dies, all the little ants, the little blankets, of course the mice, and then all the food items. So there isn't any for the words. Oh, and there's a little one for this little ant trail too. Oh, that's cute. Okay, we're gonna have to include that. And then a few of these ant buddies. I think this is gonna be one that I'm gonna end up die cutting in 2 stages, because I'm gonna place them a little bit closer, because I really only want to use 1 page per go, so that I don't have to set up this stamping multiple times. Even these little tiny ants have little dies for them, so I don't know what I'm going to want to use, so I'm going to stamp everything. Okay, you know what, these are going to be a pain. I'll just do this first. Oh, this guy's way too close. All going to stick to me. Okay, let's get them all on the block first. Get on there. Oh, and it pulled it right off. And hear them on here. Oh, no, try and strategically space them. See if everything fits. Unlike last time where I just stamped. I stamped half the mouse. Okay, looks great. I'm gonna readjust this tape though. I think it's losing its sticking power. I'd have to replace it. But let's just do that. I like to conserve, but my mental state. Oh, the stream is stuttering a bit. It seems to be back to normal now. Okay. Well, I'm sorry that happened, and I'm glad it's back. We'll have to tell my roommates to stop using the internet. Oh, and then yeah, just move the magnet. It's all going to stamp beautifully. I'm back to sitting down. Back did not like bending over quite that long. But now that it's all set up, it'll go a little bit quicker and we can get all these stamped. All these little tiny ants are going to be absolutely adorable. Feel it. Okay. Beautiful. Oh, his little ear got cut off. Anything else? Oh, maybe those little food items. They have lots of little details, so if you don't get the ink on them, they're obviously not gonna. I love the little bag that says chips. I'm just pulling up a little bit more gently right now because it still does have a bit of that tackiness. And if my page goes flying, I will be upset. I'm very determined to get at least the swap portion done. I may not color all of these today, but I need to make 2 of each card. And my goal is to make 2 of the ants at a picnic. Oh, I did the exact same thing. Put the magnet in the wrong spot. 2 of the ants in a picnic card, and 2 of the just my type. Okay, that's gorgeous. I'm always so impressed at how detailed the stamps can get. Oh, and the chips again. It says chips in the middle of it. Ink that I just keep missing it with the ink. Don't like to smush it down because if you smush down too hard, the lines get thicker, the ink starts to like bleed, bad things happen. I would rather stamp it 3 times lightly and build it up than like one smushy time. There is a such thing as too much ink, which I also found out because I was like, oh, I want the crispest lines ever, so I'm gonna stamp it like 5 times. It's just too much ink, like for your paper to hold. So when you go over it with the alcohol markers, you get smears absolutely everywhere, which is just so frustrating because you see we've been at this an hour, and to do all of this setup and then have the ink run is just heartbreaking. So hello, any new viewers? We are creating Valentine cards today with Fawn, and we're using 2 different sets right now. We're using the Antics, which is an Ants at a Picnic type set, and then another one called You're Just My Type. And we stamped already the You're Just My Type, so we're going to be coloring and using the coordinating die sets to cut these out and create the Valentine's card for that. And then we stamped a few, I get it on the back all the time. Oh dear. A few of these Ants at a Picnic ones, and you can see that there's some cute little ant buddies and some picnic objects. And then, do I still have my card bases? I've run away. We're going to be using these pre-made card bases. I think they're from Michael's Christmas, like 2 years ago. He had like $1 for like a pack of 20 of them. So finding the clearance section, that's one thing I'm going to be so happy for when we go back to in-store shopping, is just like cruising the craft clearance section. I found so much random like glitter paste and markers and everything. This is stamped. Oh, his little antennae. A little bit more love. I just want to do, I think, 2 more of these. Yeah. And then we will get on to probably the most zen part of all of this, and pick out some colors. I really like, I did this for my Christmas cards. I haven't really played with these stamps in a while, but to just make a whole bunch of these pages and then color in front of the TV, and then come back and do the die cutting later. Another reason to do, like, if you can, I really recommend like just as many as you can, because the setup time is what really gets you. Not the most fun part. I find the actual stamping very relaxing though. Put on whatever you listen to, or have that stream in the background. I could probably just buy more flat magnets. I just worry that they'll be too thick or something. I don't think it's too much of a waste of the washi just to use those 2 little strips I have there. Oh, I just completely missed that same ant twice.
So beautiful.
Okay, it's this top one. Because it's a mirror, sometimes I re-ink the wrong parts. There we go. Now he is cute like his little buddies. What I really love is these little tiny ants here. They are adorable. We're using them. I like the big ones too. They're very cute in like a kids coloring book kind of way. They're gonna join the picnic. Okay, just do one more, and then we can start coloring some of the You're Just My Type. They should be dry enough. If they aren't, we will hit them with the heat. Breathing room. I don't know how I would expect them to dry if I just pile them all on top of each other. There we go. I'm the worst too for setting my paper back on just like open ink pads. But nobody is looking at the back, and you can always, if you are using it where someone would see the back, I would just put another, like I would die cut out without stamping on a piece of paper and just use the back. I wish you could hear my little doggy snoring right now. He's not actually asleep, he just likes to make snoring noises. He's a little pug mix though, and they are a snoring bunch. Okay, I feel really good about the amount that we've stamped today. I am going to call it, and there. And these are actually sticky. I'll place them here. Maybe I will remember to use them next time. Just clean up a bit of our mess. Sometimes after streaming or whatever, I'll come back down the next day and everything will be such a mess. I'll be so upset at past Sam for not cleaning up just even a little bit as I go. Because future sake, to do it all at once gets a little bit. Yeah, stick it all back in the folder. we gotta start thinking about colors. I think for the picnic, I'll end up trying just like a more traditional color scheme, like cute little red checkered blanket. I tend to leave the mice white so that I don't have to color them. But I will try coloring a few of them. They do actually also look really cute in like a light gray or brown. And there's no rule saying that you couldn't make like purple mice. I think actually a pale pink might look really cute too. They don't know how. TBD. Let's see how adventurous I'm feeling in 5 minutes when we go to color these. Oh, some of them are really sticking. There's no adhesive on the back, it's just the plastic. Oh, that one's a little bit. When we get to the die cutting part, you'll definitely see why some people invest in the Brother scan and cut machine, because it can take a piece of paper like this that you've already stamped on, and then through technology magic find all of the edges and cut for you, so that you don't have to line up all the different metal cutting dies and run it through of the die cutting, you don't really like. Obviously, anything that's not manual is going to be exponentially more expensive. So maybe future Sam will treat herself, but current Sam needs food. Okay. So this is all pretty clean. I'm just going to set her aside, and we're going to color. We're going to do the Just My Type ones. I'm not going to color all of them right now. Like I said, I don't mind sitting on the TV and coloring them later. But I know I need to make 2 cards, so I'm going to color at least 3. Because the odds of me messing up something, either when die cutting it, you can see some of the edges are closer than the other ones. There's no way to super perfectly align it unless you have mad skills. To get right up close. Let's just focus a little tiny bit better. Oh, there we go. Oh, my kitten pillow fell on the ground. This is a large, like, high top table, which is great because you can also stand in front of it, but I have not invested in a comfy bar stool. Okay. I think what I want to do first is tiny mice. I think I said I wasn't going to leave them white. I was going to be brave. And I think we'll pull like a peachy color and maybe some grays. I have some light grays. Actually, I might only have one. Well, I like to use 2 colors so you can get kind of like a little bit of a gradient. And then at the very end, I go over with a white jelly roll and add some highlight lines. So I'm gonna grab some grays, which might be too dark, but we will try. Some peachy colors, and then maybe something like a brown. With these Touch 5 markers, I'll always swatch them on the little corners. You'll see me do it a whole bunch of times because they look nothing like the colors on the end. Like this peachy pink, it looks almost white here, right? It does have a little bit of a peachy hue, but when you put it on the paper, it's actually like a pinky brown. So there's one in here called Terracotta. I love. So I usually tend these Touch 5 markers, you can get kind of like mixed sets on AliExpress. They'll give you like, I don't know, like 12 colors for $16. And that's about the cheapest I found them. The Miniso markers are, I think, new for 5 or 2 for $4. And then the dollar store markers, I think I got a pack of 3 for $2. I honestly don't know, but they can't be that expensive. The most expensive thing in that store is like $4. And then Copics, I feel like they run anywhere from like $5 to $7 each. What else do we got? Two more of these like brown light colors. I'm gonna swatch them all. When I swatch, I just do it on the corner. Oh, I might not want a brown mouse if I want a brown desk. So we'll probably make like one of the desks a color. So I just swatched this like caramelly color. Ooh, get right up close here. Make my swatches bigger. I think that will be a beautiful color for one of the mice. This one is an even paler, kind of pinky color. Oh, and I don't have the front of the mice. I was like, oh, I'll be able to use like a peachy color for their cheeks or something, but they do not have any cheeks. Okay. So in my heart, I feel like this one, even though it's called salmon pink, is neither salmon nor pink. It is this color here. Oh, there's a lot of contrast on it. I get real close and see. I think we're going to use that. So the reason we use alcohol markers as opposed to like, I don't know, like a Crayola marker. Actually, you can. There's no rule. I've seen beautiful work done with absolutely everything. You can do it with crayon, you can do it with whatever. What alcohol marker does though is it gets rid of all of the stroke lines. You get a really smooth finish on it. It blends a lot easier with other colors. It's gonna soak through this paper, even though it is marker paper. It does bleed through still a little bit. That's fine. Nobody cares what the back looks like. The front is gonna look though, if you do it correctly, like you printed the paper as opposed to put marker on it. So alcohol marker bleeds. Not so much on this marker paper, but for me, I like to do like the little edge and then come into the center. And I like to make tiny circles wherever possible as opposed to strokes. Even though you won't get so many like line marks, you will get like light and dark areas if you were to like just straight outline the whole mouse and then fill them in after. You're going to see the line around the edges because technically you've gone over it twice. Whereas if you make the tiny little circles, you're going to get even throughout all the way. This actually is really beautiful in real life, but you can barely see his coloring there. So I'm going to go in with a darker one too. Not on this mouse, but on a different mouse. It might look pink on the camera. It doesn't look very pink here. Maybe we'll go in with, ooh, this terracotta I know is actually very dark in comparison to the other ones. So that dark brown. I don't know how many colors mice come in. I'm sure all of them. Well, I'm kind of tempted to do one where like his little ears are a bit darker and then we blend in some lighter colors. This marker is dying on me just a little bit. I use it a lot though. This was beautiful for like gingerbread over the holidays, so when I was coloring more, I think it was one I used more often. I just have a little simple mouse. And then the third one, I'll make gray, just to see what happens. Like shockingly, I like these dollar store markers more than the Touch 5 ones. The nib on them is really nice, but I've only ever found them twice in the dollar store and to get like a subset of the colors. And I've seen online that there's actually more colors that you can get that I wasn't able to find. It has like a really pretty solid ink. It just kind of flows really nicely. So we have our little gray mouse there. And it's gonna be like he's looking up at the computer. It looks pretty. Are those the stamps from Boxing Day? These are the stamps from Boxing Day. So I'm just gonna let our little mice dry. The alcohol ink just takes a minute, and then we'll add like a cute little few highlights with the jelly roll. So actually I have this darker gray. What I was going to do is see if I can just like make by his ears just a little bit darker. Oh, I'm being so light because I really don't want it to bleed too much. All I want to do is add some interest. You know what? I'm not liking what that's doing. I think you can blend other colors. I don't know if you can see what's kind of going on here. But it's not quite as shadowy as I had hoped. But I always have a lot of luck when I add these jelly roll lines, even if I don't do the highlight like 100% correctly, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute when we get there. And just a side note, I always say the jelly roll pens because with a white gel pen, I have bought so many that didn't work that were cheaper, either like dollar store or off-brand. And I finally broke down and I paid whatever and bought a 3-pack of these jelly roll pens, and I should have done it from the beginning. It would have saved me headache. They always work. They flow really nicely, and the white is really vibrant. And you find with a lot of the cheaper gel pens that it's more like translucent, and I don't want to see through it. So I think for the desks, for the gray mice, I'm going to do a brown desk because it will just make me happy. And so the desk looks really good. I'm trying to remember. I think if the drawers a darker color and then the edges like a little bit of a lighter, it really popped. I'm the type of person that has watched so many people with this set. We're just gonna let's do the edges here. The light. So with alcohol markers, if you're going to do layering, it might be intuitive, it might not, but you definitely want to lay down the lighter color first and then put the dark color over it, because the light color is not going to cover the darker color. Like, you can't make things light. The little Phoebes. I think this one, if you forget what your color is, there's no harm in swatching it again. You're going to be die cutting. All of this will just be extra. Oh yes. It is doing more of those nicer blending. Because it's alcohol based, if you kind of go over it a few times, it'll blur and blend together a little bit. And it just creates like a really beautiful blend. You can actually see it a little bit. Oh, good. I'm trying to use stronger colors right now so that you can see them on the camera a little bit better. One day, I will invest in a beautiful high-definition camera. I'm just coloring around the drawers right now. Kind of like haphazardly. There's not a lot of small details in this disc, so despite trying to just add some like high and low lights, there's not too much that I'm trying to do here. Beautiful, and then use this caramel color again that I was using before for the drawers. We might not need to color 3 of these if I can manage to not mess up the next one. But I did want to color and die cut just a few extras so that I could use them in future projects. And also, when I'm assembling things, I just like to have options. And it goes together. And if you do find, like here, I didn't really do my circle technique, and I am getting a little bit of streaking, you can just go over it again. You don't want to overload it, because then it'll just look darker than everything else, but because this drawer is bigger, I think in contrast it'll look fine. Oh, I forgot a little line there. Oh, I'm very happy with that. A beautiful little kind of radiant look on there. The desk looks really sharp. For the lamp, I think I might just use whatever, just like a minty color here that I have. This is actually the color of my actual office. Very pretty. I'll use a shade that's a little bit darker if I can find it for the inside of the lamp. I know it seems like a bunch of extra steps, but if you can do a little bit of the high and low lights, and I feel in general it'll just make the whole design pop. I've seen some really beautiful, like some people just use the stamps in the black and white. I've done it too. And it can be really beautiful. There's no rules. There's just some techniques that you can choose. Just the darker green as well. A cute little lamp. And then the typewriter, I'm going to do the edges in a dark blue here, which I instantly regret. That's okay. The next one we'll do different colors. Just try and do some blues here. Kind of think of the different parts. Okay, so we have a little liner piece here and these little turny edges. I have never used a typewriter. I like it aesthetically. Oh, and this. I think this is a space bar. Let's make that too. And I think, so this top row, it actually didn't include the top row in the base stamp. Because you can choose either to add some more keys, or add a little heart, or add a little smiley face. Don't go over the edges. No, I won't go over the edges. And I think because it's a Valentine's card that I'm working towards, I will probably end up using a little smiley face. So I have a light blue that I tend to like a lot. None of these have names, they just have numbers. But I don't, if you watch videos where people are using Copics, like they'll tell you what name it is, and that's really good for like figuring out which colors go together. If you are going with the off-brand alcohol markers, definitely you can have sheets where you swatch them all, and I recommend it, but I swatch them every single time on the corner to figure out kind of what combinations that I like. This blue though I use quite often. I know that it is kind of like a light sky blue, and doing the edges in it will complement this very dark navy blue. I think with the little mint moment that we have with the lamp, it'll all come together really lovely. And then behind the keys, I wonder if I have an even lighter blue. I think this one is. Watch it. Oh yes. Okay. I am just going to go over Oh, I don't know. Oh, this is hard. Do I want to go over the back with another blue? You know what? Let's be brave. And then I'll just stamp the little smiley face over it afterwards. I am doing more lines here than little circles because I have to get around all these little tiny keys. Oh, I haven't heard copyright-free music with lyrics before, but I think it's still okay. Okay. What we've done now is just create like a little monochrome. And don't think I'm going to use the inside keyboard this time. Or keyboard, my goodness. Typewriter. I'm just going to have the piece of paper inside. So this one here is going to say you're just my type. And then this little piece of paper is going to say Happy Valentine's Day. So I'm going to leave it. Oh, it's dry enough. We'll do the highlight and then we'll move on to another one. So when we're highlighting, we're taking our jelly roll here. I just like to prime it, so just like put it on the page a little bit to make sure that the ink is flowing. And then you're going to pick a direction for your light to go. I always do the top left to the bottom right. Don't know why, intuitively it makes sense. So this doesn't have to be perfect by any means, and mine won't be. So you just imagine a ray of light going from the top left corner of the page to the bottom right, and then you're just like, how would that hit this object? Really is what you're saying to yourself. You're like, I think the light would come in and hit it a little bit up the top here. So you're going to add in a highlight there, and then I always put like a little straight line on the bottom. This, I don't think you can see the contrast at all as I'm doing it on this, but IRL, it looks beautiful. Just put a little spot here. Let's do the mousey. Maybe you'll see him with some contrast. So the same thing, top left to bottom right. I think the light would hit him kind of on the side over here. On his little bum. Let's do the jelly roll contrast. Oh, this little brown mess is dry. Here. Here. There we go. You can see on this little brown mouse kind of where the light hits. And that just high quality royalty free. That just really adds some depth to your card at the end of the day. So the same thing with this desk. You can, squares are a lot easier. Just do the bottom corner here. And then the top corner. That just makes it a little shiny. And honestly, if you get these wrong, and if you do know, like, they don't care. I can't imagine looking at someone's piece of art and being like, one single roll of gel pen is just so incorrect. Yeah. I'm happy. This can go dry over here. So I'm going to do very similar things for these last two. I really liked that mint light, so I'm not going to mess with a good thing. Just go over it again. And then if you find colors that work, obviously your coloring is going to be a little bit faster. You can do multiple. I'm actually going to bring that mint into the typewriter here and just make all of this mint. Have you seen those kinds of like I don't know, I feel like every kitchen gadget has this like mint green or millennial pink kind of enamel over it now. It's gonna be a completely mint typewriter. You know what? I choose. What I think would be really sharp, actually, speaking of using different mediums, is I might go in with a metallic pen. So either like a silver or a bronze that adds a little bit of shimmer, and then just go over the pieces I think would be like chromey and metally. I think that'll look really sharp. There's that darker green. Oh, I put it back. Go back over the shadowy parts of our lamp. Probably add some yellow there too on the light bulb, but a lot of white light. We'll figure that out in a minute. And then this desk, I didn't want the brown mouse to have a brown desk, so make it pink, maybe like a purpley pink. I think I have this one here, yes, called Pale Lilac, and we'll mix it with light pink. Sure. So light pink is super light. Pale lilac is like a purpley color. So I'm gonna lay down. I think I'm gonna go opposite to what I told you and lay down the darker color first, because I'm gonna want it on the edges here. Because I'm not trying to cover it up with the pink. Both colors will be here. So it's just to add some kind of visual interest. We can do here. I love when the marker squeaks. Isn't that so weird? Some sounds you're just like, oh. Do something crazy and use the broad tip because I just think it'll be faster. This is so cute. I wish my actual desk could be like kind of like this like gradient pink color. More like IKEA black. There we go. You created kind of like a funky pink and purple desk. Really, at the end of all of this, I'm gonna cover it in glitter anyway. Isn't that shocking? Oh, I do. I was like, I don't think I have a yellow marker. I do. If you've watched any of my previous streams, I definitely have talked. Oh, this is green. That is not yellow. Oh well. It's happening. I don't tend to gravitate towards yellow products, which is weird. That's true. Okay. So I'm just gonna go over these guys that we just colored, give them some highlights. I think just for time and sanity's sake, we're only gonna end up putting together the Just My Type card today, which is this one that we're working on right now. Also, if you do put your highlights on and you find that the alcohol ink is still wet, it will kind of soak into them. Wait for everything to dry, like for real dry, and then go over it again with the white. Okay. These are for future streams. Stamp out the sentiment. So I think I said for these little ones, you're going to use Happy Valentine's Day. For these bigger ones, you're going to use your Just My Type. Sneak over here. Grab a smaller stamping tool. This is a plastic, regular stamp positioning tool. What does this one say? You're just my type. So what you do is probably put it in the center, that's fine. I'm gonna ink it up. I'm gonna line it up. Oh, okay, we're not gonna leave it in the middle because I can't see through the top here. I have to get ink all over my hands. There we go. Let's line this up a little bit nicer. It says, you're just my type. I'm going to do the same thing on this other typewriter. Really careful to make sure it's inked up correctly. And that looks really sharp. And then the inside says Happy Valentine's Day. Which is this little sheet of paper. And you know what? I might end up using this just uncolored on the inside. I don't know. It might look sharp. Have a little Happy Valentine's Day in there. Oh, that one's smudged. Let me see. It's very smudgy. Close to have to get this to focus. We're gonna have a conversation. A quick one. Don't know if that made it better or worse. I just actually, this is what I do a bunch. I'm just gonna stamp it one more time. I'll use whichever the best one is. Oh, now that one just says Happy Valentine's Day. There we go. I was able to line it up without re-inking it. The ink was already gone from the beginning. Put these aside. Okay. So I think what's going to happen is this is going to be a two-part stream. I am going to probably color the other ones, and then next time we can cut these out and we'll put them on our little card bases. So thank you so much for joining me today. I, as always, had a blast like chatting and crafting and going through some of the supplies I have accumulated over the years. Oh! You guys ready? This is the tiny princess. Oh, sneak peek into the rest of my craft room. Hello, beautiful. Alright, we get a little bit of a bonus cut here. Oh, she's like, the camera is beautiful and it loves me. Alright, I think that's an excellent note to end the stream on. I won't take away your tiny princess content. Take care, everyone, and we'll chat soon.